watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and I'm so excited about this segment. Oh my gosh, okay, I want everyone to notice my little coffee mug here with my lipstick stain on it, and it's got a bag. This is not a tea bag, friends. This is coffee. This is a coffee, Nostalgia Coffee. The founder of Nostalgia Coffee is here, Taylor Fields. Welcome to the show.
So good to be here.
I am so excited you're here. Coffee is my favorite beverage. I love it. I drink it all day long. Look at my lipstick mark on the cup. That's so awesome. So I want to know everything about it. You are the founder of Nostalgia Coffee.
I am.
Okay, so first tell me about you
Yes.
and your love of coffee and how you ended up founding a coffee company.
Heck yeah.
While I
can tell
drink
you all
my
about
coffee.
that. You're drinking the future of coffee is what we like to say. Instantly
the
better
future.
coffee.
Coffee
That's
in a
the
tea
future.
bag.
You're holding it.
It's a coffee bag.
One of the first people to try it.
Really?
Yeah. Like our
Cutting
our
edge
marketing
here on
was-
America Trends.
cutting
We're
edge.
setting trends.
This is going to be the future for
Okay.
coffee trends.
Okay, I love it. Right here. It's happening.
Let's see. So how did I get into coffee? So I'm from New Mexico originally. Grew up, didn't have any coffee growing up. My parents weren't into coffee.
Really?
Yeah, and I went to school in Chicago to originally play golf
Okay.
and started studying accounting and finance. First time in my life, I'm freezing
I love this.
cold.
New Mexico, Chicago, golf, finance. Okay.
We're getting the whole bit.
Yeah,
here.
we're
It's
like all over the place.
Documentary.
Okay.
The first winter I was in Chicago, we had snowpocalypse, like 24 inches of snow, was freezing cold, and found coffee for the first time. Dunkin' Donuts is everywhere, and
Oh,
finally
yes.
found like a warm cup of
Dunkin'.
coffee, and was like, I kind of understand what coffee's about. I don't, but this is nice and warm in my dorm room right now.
So it wasn't love at first taste.
Was not love at first taste.
Okay.
It was more
I
out
don't
of,
think I think it rarely is love at first
Rarely.
taste. 'Cause it's a very strong, strange taste when you're new.
And we're hoping to change that.
Okay.
But yeah, we're going to change that.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't love at first sight, and then as I'm starting to study for accounting and finance, the need for caffeine starts to build up. So I'm starting to study more and more, starting to find more of these really cool cafes in Chicago. Was drawn towards one called Intelligentsia, which is
Okay.
kind of like one of the most famous coffee companies in the
I
world.
feel like I've heard of it.
You've
It's
heard
just
of them?
very trendy and cool, and
It's
I
a
can
very
totally
cool,
picture how cool and
it's
chic
very
it is.
trendy,
Okay.
very chic.
Yeah.
And when I was a senior in college, I was studying for the CPA exam and was spending over 12 hours a day inside Intelligentsia. I loved like the vibe in there. You weren't necessarily talking with other
Did they
people.
care? Did you just like
They
the
didn't
price of
care.
a cup of coffee and you're there all day?
You're there all day, and they're over there with the pour-over bar. They take coffee very seriously.
Yeah.
So I was watching them like do the science of it, the art, and just like fascinated, and also kind of bummed out that I was studying for the CPA exam, and they look like they're having fun, but in a serious way, making this delicious
Right.
drink that everyone's enjoying.
And I bet you're not allowed to say like Starbucks in there, are you?
Don't say Starbucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say they don't. There's a little bit of a rivalry with
A
the
little bit of a
independent
rivalry. You know,
coffee
we've got to
makers.
give Starbucks credit for like getting all of us into coffee and the world, but we're
Yes.
certainly taking coffee to the next level now. Now it's kind of our
Okay,
time.
yeah, we're gonna forget that. We're moving on to nostalgia, which, by the way, I'm obsessed with the name.
Yes.
I love the name because I do love coffee, and it's nostalgic for me because I remember drinking it with my friends in college and drinking it with my friends post college or whatever.
Yes.
Like the mornings driving, like you were painting such a good picture when it was
Yes.
cold, and so there's this element of it of nostalgia. So it's just a cool word. So tell me how you came up with that, and when did you
Yeah.
decide to start your own company?
So I am sitting in, I'm a CPA, sitting in an office, auditing clients.
I cannot imagine this, by the way. This does not compute at all.
It was a different vibe.
Okay.
But sitting in conference rooms at clients, and I would bring in this kettle and a grinder and coffees from around the world, and we'd be brewing it for like our clients, our team, and I thought it was a really fun way to take a break,
Yeah.
plus like enjoy my fascination.
Yeah.
And it clicked that I could have my own company. We're auditing all these companies that their founders obviously got into something that they loved.
Yeah.
Left the accounting world and started Nostalgia, and that whole name came from me constantly longing for going back to that cafe in Chicago when it was snowing outside.
I love this so much. This can't get any better. And by the way, this is delicious coffee.
I'm glad you like it.
I'm gonna have to say it's amazing. And I'm gonna be wired tonight, but I'm
Yes.
so excited to
We'll
keep drinking it.
Keep them coming.
So you have this idea, you're gonna start this company. And how long ago was this?
Yes. So this was 2016 was when the idea started.
Okay.
I was still in the middle of auditing, CPA, everything, 70, 80 hours a week.
Oh my gosh.
and living by coffee, but also living for coffee.
What coffee did you drink? Can you tell me?
Yeah, it was mainly intelligentsia.
Oh,
and then
okay.
Locally, I would try all the different local roasters. San Diego has such a great coffee scene.
We do kind of, yeah.
I would say we're one of the top 5 in the entire country.
Yeah, so were you kind of thinking, what am I doing starting a coffee company in a hub?
Certainly risky. And so then this is where the innovation piece started to come. I'm young, I don't have a lot of money, but I love coffee, so how do we make this happen?
Yeah.
That's when I decided to start Nostalgia as a mobile cafe. It was something that we could take just a little trailer shell, turn into a cafe, but completely
It's so
different.
adorable. I mean, look at that. It's so cute. So that's
Yes.
that's right down in San Diego by Broadway Pier, right?
That's the Broadway Pier.
Yeah.
That's USS Midway in the background. So the whole vibe and concept behind this was to create that cafe experience, kind of you would see in Chicago on the streets during the summer.
Yeah.
Obviously in the winter we're inside. But there wasn't anything like this in San Diego where it was specialty coffee served in a 7-foot by 10-foot trailer. So we have the equipment, the plumbing, the water quality, the roast, everything you expect from $1 million cafe on this little footprint to go anywhere.
Oh,
and we made it
my
happen,
gosh.
and it caught on like that.
How did that idea come to you? Were you just like in the shower one day or driving and think,
It
a
was
mobile cafe?
It was a combination of spending a lot of time on the road from driving to different clients and thinking like, I'm already bringing coffee to clients and they love it and they hate leaving their offices.
True.
Especially me as an auditor. I didn't want to get up and leave and then come back.
When someone brings me coffee, it's just the best thing ever. You
It's a
brought
great
this
piece
to
of
me and I
joy.
was like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
it's
my
a
best
happy,
friend.
it's a happy moment.
Yeah.
So it was that, and then also, making the smart business decision of what can I afford. I couldn't go out and get this beautiful cafe location. I didn't have any really true coffee experience. I tried to get some part-time barista jobs in San Diego. Funny story before I started this, and I got turned down from all of them.
Shut up.
All of them. They were like, you're a CPA, you know nothing about coffee. Like, why would we hire you? And I was like,
That is funny.
whatever, but I just want to do it for like
So you
fun.
were never a barista.
Never a barista, just
Just you love
just
coffee.
loved coffee.
This is what we talk about on the show all the time. It comes up is
Yeah.
people's passion, and they find a way to make a business out of it
Yeah.
and become successful because they love it so much.
And that's the tricky part, is finding that balance between passion and making it into something profitable and that you
Profitable.
can grow. And then it wasn't always a concept to stage as a mobile cafe. I always knew there was this next step, and we didn't know what it was. And now here we are. And
Okay, and this is the next step.
This is the big next step for us.
Okay, but first, I'm not done with the mobile cafe talk because this is, first of all, I mean, it's so adorable when you look at it. So, did you have the vision behind? Where did you even go to buy it in the first place?
Yeah.
And then the
Craigslist.
funding for all it, Craigslist.
Yeah. So
This just keeps getting better. I can't.
So where you find all good things, Craigslist.
Yes.
Just looking for trailer shells, you can find anything out there. And this was just a shell of a trailer, a little hole cut in it, no electrical, no plumbing. We could afford it. I actually sold one of our cars so we could get this. We hadn't picked it up in Orange County. Got a pickup truck to tow it back. Had no idea what I was doing, and it took literally a year
Look at that great shot. I love it.
it built.
And so what did it look like when you bought it? Was it just plain black on the side and you painted the
It was
logo, or
just
did you all do all that?
ugly white shell of a trailer that most people would think should be never on the streets or seen publicly. And then, we didn't have a ton of money, so it was me watching YouTube, learning how to do the plumbing, learning how to do electrical, learning how to mount equipment, figuring out this crash course on coffee, permitting, all these different things.
Very resourceful.
Very resourceful. I'm pretty good now with power tools, which I'm pumped about.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I know I watched YouTube to fix the drain one time, and I'm under there with and I feel so good.
Yes, it feels good when you actually. But no, this, with a mobile cafe, it's always something is going to break down, something's going to go wrong. So you've got to be
Right.
resourceful. You've got to fix it. Yes.
So the other question, there's so many questions. So you take it to different parts of the city,
Yeah.
different days of the week. I think I read that on
do.
your website.
Yes.
So you're in PB or Pacific Beach a couple days.
So really what happened is when I started this, we had a relationship with Intuit. They're a big San Diego,
yeah.
Intuit, TurboTax, QuickBooks,
Sure.
huge campus here. We would bring our coffee to their campus, even though they had a actual cafe on their campus for half price. We would bring our mobile coffee shop there, and there would be a line of 20 people waiting for our full price coffee because we had music, we had vibes, we had plans.
Vibes.
We had
It's
vibes.
about the vibes.
We
We're
had
so
the
millennial
vibes
right now.
and we had the
I get the
delicious
vibes.
coffee.
Yeah.
And they would wait in line and it was like a way to experience the break. And that's really how we got our start, was being into it all the time. And then these big markets, one after one, started reaching out to us. And like, it's hard to get into markets in San Diego.
We're Loft 100 Studios better be on your next stop. We have to have you.
Get you on the
here.
rotation.
Yes, we need to be in the rotation. I definitely. Are you up in this area?
We're not in this area right now. Closest would be UCSD.
We are gonna start that
We
soon.
should look into that.
Taylor, after the.
Well, you know, the goal is in 5 years to have at least 12 physical cafes, and then throughout the country we'll have more cafes. So it's coming.
You have goals next out on the horizon. We have to take a break, but I want to come back and talk
Yes.
about the new revolutionary
Absolutely.
thing that I have. I'm gonna dip my way to the commercial, and I'm gonna be hyper when you come back. More with Taylor Fields right after this. You are watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and I am holding my new favorite thing, which is nostalgia coffee in a brew bag. And we're going to talk to the founder of Nostalgia Coffee, Taylor Fields. We're talking to her right there. There's a little coffee in a brew bag. This is the new wave, friends. America Trends. We are making trends right here and now. So this is what it comes in. Tell us about this new way of making coffee.
So it's kind of a little bit of a story, but I'll put it into
I'm
under
ready.
30 seconds.
Okay.
So we have the mobile cafe. We're very successful. COVID happens. We don't need to talk about that. Obviously detrimental.
Yes.
I actually asked one of my friends who was a roaster at one of the most well-known roasters in the entire country if he wants to join me in a little warehouse in the Miramar area. Joins me, build out a roasting program. Our very first coffee was this Memory Lane, and it was the highest rated blend in California. Our first coffee we ever roasted.
It's called Memory Lane.
Called
I
Memory
love
Lane.
it.
Goes with
Okay.
nostalgia,
Yes.
right? And now we're creating
That's this,
future
what I'm
nostalgia
drinking.
for you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so as of today now, we have 3 of the highest rated single origin coffees in the entire world from Coffee Review, kind of like Wine Review.
Okay.
And so
Yeah, it got a 90, what is that, 2?
92 points, which is really important, just like
Wow.
with wine. It's a very similar industry.
Yeah.
So
And did you say by a single region? What?
yeah, so this is a blend, but we work all direct trade with farmers, and we
Okay.
can talk about that too. But we have 3 of the highest rated single origin coffees, which means we know the farm, the farmer, the region it came from,
Wow.
the actual coffee plant, all the science behind it, who
Yeah,
did
there's
it.
a lot of, all I know is it tastes so good.
And that's the whole point,
I
is at
don't
the end
care
of the
about
day,
the science.
you shouldn't have to think about brewing a cup, you should just have an exceptional cup anywhere. And that's what we're giving you.
So to make this, literally right before we started,
Yes.
we brewed some hot water in
hot
the
water.
Keurig,
Yeah.
and then we poured it on this pour over.
Yeah.
And it's a delicious, it was minutes. And then I can just keep it here and start dipping.
You can, it's up to you. So yeah, all it is hot water, a mug, and that compostable brew bag, which is really cool.
Okay.
And then you can leave it in there the entire time you're drinking it like tea. You can take it out after a couple of minutes. You can kind of adjust it to your flavor profile.
Yeah, this is nice for me because I don't like super heavy rich. This one's a more medium, you said,
This is a
right?
medium, light medium coffee. You're gonna notice it tastes like Swiss chocolate.
Yeah.
It's just a really nice drinkable
How
coffee.
does that happen? Can we tell that to me briefly in a Cliff Notes version of the vanilla bean flavored coffee? And
Yeah.
how does that, someone out there
So-
infusing the beans with vanilla?
No, so all of our coffee, we have tasting notes on everything. None of it is added flavors. So depending on the varietal of coffee, the region, the elevation, our roast profile, the temperature when
What
the
does a
plant was
roast
growing.
profile mean?
Yes.
Can you break it down?
It's about airflow, temperature, and time. So we're adjusting
okay.
those as we're roasting. The longer you roast, the more every coffee starts to taste like coffee flavored coffee. But the lighter you roast, the more subtle changes you make, you get
Okay.
these unique flavors and the variety of coffee plant in the region. So we have a coffee right now that tastes like orange and red wine. It's sensational.
So was this kind of stuff that you were learning when you were drinking it at Intelligentsia? Is that what it's called?
yeah, intelligence, yeah.
So were you kind of learning these things there? Were you becoming kind of a coffee connoisseur?
I was becoming a coffee snob towards
Okay,
the
I
end
wasn't
of
gonna
that
say
time.
snob.
It's
You
true.
said it,
I
not
was
me.
becoming a coffee
Okay, I'm
snob
glad.
there at the end. I would spend hours on the computer, YouTube channels. Like if you're in the coffee community, you can find out a lot of resources.
Okay.
But until you're really in it and you're calling farmers from around the world and working with it, you just can't learn all of that. So it's been a crash course these past couple years.
I bet. More YouTube watching.
More YouTube, and also surrounding myself with the smartest people in coffee. And
Wow.
now we're able to produce something that is
So where can people buy this?
Yeah, so right now we actually had our first production run, sold out within a couple hours to one corporate client.
Really?
We're having our second production run in 2 weeks. Those will be available online, nostalgiacoffeeroasters.com.
You're going to have Christmas packages. I already
Absolutely.
talked about Christmas earlier with our earlier guests on spousely.com. But now, and who is also someone, because I met you through Sylvia Ma.
Yeah.
And that's how you got some of your funding. Is that correct?
So yeah, I want to mention that like the most challenging part is, so we're a gay woman-owned coffee company here in San Diego. And when we're trying to launch a product in a market that's commodity driven by Starbucks and these big companies, you've got to have funding to be able to make an impact.
To even be seen or heard, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so we could stay on this little trend of just being a small company. That's not our goal. We want to have this everywhere. And so I met Sylvia about a year ago. She's a great friend, a mentor, an advisor. She's our lead investor now. She connected us with Stella Labs at Astra Ventures and the Women's Venture Summit that is coming up in the next 2 weeks, which I'm really excited about. Any entrepreneur.
So people can go pitch at that, right? Women pitch their job ideas or business ideas.
It's actually really cool. So they take women from all over the country, young entrepreneurs like myself. You apply to it. You do a quick pitch, and then they have regionals, and they have judges, and the finalists go to the Women's Venture Summit, all online this year. And the winner gets $10,000 investment.
Wow.
But they also get all this exposure from other female investors, entrepreneurs. It's this way of meeting all these great people in one area that are really focused on getting women money.
Are you pitching or are you going?
I'm going to pitch too. Yeah.
Oh,
so we're
in the middle. You're done. Can we show this? I'll be your spokesperson. Like, this is the best coffee.
We're in the middle. So we are in the middle of a seed round right now. We're raising $500,000. And as a woman, it's very difficult to get capital. But that's where Sylvia, Stella Labs, Women's Venture Summit, all of this comes together to bring women-focused investors together with women entrepreneurs.
That's
and it's this amazing way. And just fun fact for you, women-owned companies have a higher rate of return than male-owned companies. So it's just a smart investment.
Why is that? That's just the stats. We're just pushing stats.
I'm just pushing stats here. You can read into what you want. But Sylvia has been so instrumental in that.
Yeah.
And the San Diego community itself has been able to get money into women entrepreneurs.
So people that are not in San Diego who might be watching this show, they can go to your website.
They can go to our website.
Nostalgiacoffee.com?
Nostalgiacoffeeroasters.com.
Roasters.
Or they can follow our Instagram at Nostalgia Brew. Kind of watch our entire journey. It's up there.
Yes.
And then you can go to Shop Coffee.
Currently your number one fan. So you can do... shop these.
Yeah.
Do you also have bags of beans, whole beans?
We do. Whole beans, we always do. And so part of our approach at Nostalgia, where we're really differentiating ourselves, is being a more approachable, inclusive coffee company. So yes, I'm a coffee snob, but not everyone likes these really wild and fruity coffees.
Yeah.
So we've designed all of our coffees to be approachable. So this is just, we call it a porch pounder. You can drink it all day.
This is a porch pounder.
This is a porch pounder. You could have 2 or 3 of those.
I have learned so
quick.
much. This is not even funny. Porch pounder for sure. It's not fruitier.
It's just right in the middle.
Right in the middle of a good cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You're probably too young to know Twin Peaks, but
I know Twin Peaks.
Special Agent Dale Cooper would really like this good cup of coffee. Yes. I would say, for sure.
I love that TV show. Oh my gosh.
He's the best. He's the best character
pie.
ever. With his pie, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Taylor, I hope you'll come back. Will you bring your nostalgia truck with you?
We'll bring the
next
truck
time?
over here. We'll get these to everyone.
Coffee on the whole complex on us.
Yes.
I'm gonna say.
Absolutely.
Everyone at home, thank you so much for watching America Trends tonight. We had a great show, and we will see you back here tomorrow night, 10 p.m.